What's up, YouTube? It's Joe Cutchpalia sitting on the couch making some money investing in fractional real estate online as usual. It's Friday morning, so it is time for this week's installment of the 52-week challenge. If you don't know what that is, at the end of this video there'll be a link to a playlist. That's the 52-week challenge playlist. I explain it at the in that first video in that playlist. But it's essentially we're just sharing what we bought every week. As a way to try to avoid, analysis paralysis, where we're just looking at deals constantly but not pulling the trigger on anything. I've been sharing what I buy as far as fractional real estate goes, and you can do that in the Discord. You can do it in the comments of this video, or a lot of people just choose to send me DMs. I'm happy with that as well. Speaking of the Discord, if you look in the description to this video, there's a link to the Discord I have set up. A whole bunch of us talk about all different fractional real estate platforms on a regular basis on there, so you can check that out. And also in the description to this video, there are links to all the places where I'm currently investing in fractional real estate online. Just because I am on one of those platforms doesn't mean that you should be. Do your own due diligence on all of them and any of the properties or interests that you see me buy. It's going to be a really quick 52-week challenge video today because I didn't buy a whole lot this week. I didn't buy a single token on Lofty. I did a lot of selling. They've been sort of busy changing rules quite a bit and doing different things. Some of it, I think, for the better, some of it for the worse. I'm going to do a separate video on that later, but a lot of it has just led me to, they froze the trading on a lot of the stuff that I had been buying, and so it keeps me from buying. I already had been in the process of liquidating most of my holdings anyway. They did some weird Oracle price adjustments, so let me get out of a couple of things that I had bought. Prices popped a little bit, but I missed some of that because I was taking a nap. Unfortunately, the really good sale opportunities, it looks like I missed. But anyway, what did I actually buy this week? Enough of what I didn't do, right? I bought, let's see, how many LROs? Is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 pieces of loans on ground floor. You can see I've got up to 112 now. This is pretty promising, right? I've been able to accumulate for the last couple of weeks. If I get to this number between 150 and 200 without them doing another one of those artificial bulk payoffs, I'll probably start putting more money on this platform again. Right now, I've got enough on here for me to just put the same amount in, maybe up to 200 loans. And then if I can start to maintain a large portfolio like that over time, I'll roll it into maybe double, putting significantly more in each one. But because of the nature of this platform, I do have a playlist for ground floor as well, sort of explaining my strategy on here. But I'm just trying to get really broad diversification, and as long as they don't go and pay off a bunch of them again like they have in the past, looks like maybe I'll be able to do that. Only 4 in extended status out of the 112 that I own. Still haven't had a single one in default yet. You can see I had a whole bunch that were extended, but most of these got paid off during that artificial payoff where they moved those loans to some other product. So maybe that really saved me, and I don't know. I don't know if I've just been really lucky, or what's what the story is with that. But so far, so good with this portfolio. Pretty happy about how it's starting to build up again. And like I said, if I can get to that 150 to 200 loans, I think that's where I'll really start to pull the trigger on putting more funds on here. But I thought, I didn't like that I had like cash just sitting in here, and that's why I had started pulling some off. But they've been pretty consistent again, putting out LROs. So we'll see. And the only other thing I bought this week, I did buy just a little piece of the Malone. This is a 8-bedroom, 4-bathroom pad split in Petersburg, Virginia. I bought this on Mogul. If you guys have been watching my channel for a while, Mogul's been my favorite platform. I hadn't really bought a whole bunch on there lately. They had a lot of properties that I passed on. They did launch a new property yesterday. I was working on a due diligence video for that, had some technical problems with my computer, which seems like it happens all the time, right? I don't know. But anyway, Hopefully I'll get that out tonight before it's all gone. But if not, it is that new one is another Houston area pad split. I think a lot of what I've said in other videos is going to apply, but I'm going to try to get one out before it's fully sold out. It looks like it's about halfway already. And they just started it I think less than 24 hours ago. They did the VIP launch, so we'll see what happens there. And yeah, so that's everything. All I bought is stuff on Ground Floor and stuff on Mogul. I didn't buy anything on Sol's Lot. I bought their most recent one last week. I haven't given you an update on Collab in a while. I have still been getting paid on that one property I have. I should probably do an update, but definitely not buying any of the others that they have at the moment. So that's about it. Hopefully, we'll, after digging into the next Mogul one, maybe that'll be another buy. Maybe not. We'll see. And I'd really like to see Lofty turn around and get to a point where I feel comfortable putting some money on there again instead of slowly moving money off. But I don't know. I mean, it seems like they make a lot of rash decisions that sort of hurt us as investors without really fully thinking them through. And they're always like, oh, well, in hindsight, that this could have been done better. That I think a lot of times, if they talk to people who understood the industry better, or if they even just engaged a bunch of us investors, they'd realize no, that was something that you could have figured out ahead of time if you just looked for that. So anyway, really hopeful that that'll turn around, but who knows? Maybe not. It's just too bad. It's the only one that has 24/7 trading, makes it a lot of fun, creates a lot of opportunities. But most of those opportunities come about because somebody else has lost money. So, it is what it is. Anyway, this is everything I bought this week. Please jump in the comments, jump in the Discord. Let me know what you bought. And I think that's it. Until next time, I'm going to keep making mistakes so that you don't have to.